Welcome back to Teshkid FX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Polygon Matic, whose current price stands at the $0.834 mark. And here on TradingView the market is down by 1.79%, and in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot wave structures, the Fibonacci's, the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out any key chart patterns that you have information on this chart. And now start the video by giving a brief of what has been happening here on the Polygon Matic chart. From the all-time high, we had been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, which took us back to around the $0.32 mark. And after making that low, I believe Polygon Matic has done the minimum that we expected it to do in its ABC corrective structure. And soon we are going to see this movement to the upper side, obeying the Elliot wave structures, having our wave 5 taking us back to an all-time high. But before we get to an all-time high, we first need to see that first wave to the upper side. And I believe Polygon Matic has given us that first wave to the upper side of this Elliot wave structure that I have right here. And right now we're in the formation of this higher Elliot wave count 2, and that still remains to be my primary scenario here on the Polygon Matic chart, that we are in the formation of this higher Elliot wave count 2. And jumping to the 4-hour chart for further analysis. Here on the 4-hour chart, you can see I have this Elliot wave structure in yellow, which is a fractal wave within that first wave to the upper side. And that is so because a first wave to the upper side is an impulsive wave, and because of that we also expect to see fractal waves in formation within that higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And using the trend based Fibonacci, we can get to see whether this first wave to the upper side has done the minimum that we expect a first wave to do, by connecting the trend based Fibonacci from the low of the first wave down there to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the high of the wave 3, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side at the fib level 0.618, which perfectly lies at around the $1.2421 mark. And from what we have here on the charts, you can see our high for that first wave was at around the $1.3 mark, meaning that target area to the upper side was fully maximized. And having seen the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 1, whatever we expect next is a movement to the lower side in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2. And using the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of the first wave down there to the high of the wave 1, that gives me a minimum retracement area to the lower side in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 2 between the fib level 0.5 and the fib level 0.618. And I can mark that target area here on the charts like that, and that target area lies between the $0.81 mark and the $0.69 mark. Then removing the Fibonacci's so that we can see this better, and then zoom in. You can see in the formation of this higher Elliot wave count 2, Polygon Matic has continued to descend to the lower side, but we have not fully maximized the this yellow target area in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 2. And in that movement to the lower side, we also saw the formation of this double top, which is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the lower side, having the target area of the breakout as the height between the tops and the neckline, giving me a target area of the breakout back to around the $0.96 mark, which is a target area that we have fully maximized, and we have continued pushing lower. And that chart pattern was fully supporting that movement to the lower side in the formation of this higher Elliot wave count 2, which is a corrective wave. And because it's of its corrective nature, we also expect to see an ABC corrective structure right here, and I believe we are seeing such a structure, having this as the wave A, then I will be making its peak at around the $1.17 mark. Then I'm expecting a wave C to fully maximize the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 2 by getting us fully into this yellow target area. And using the trend based Fibonacci also, we can sketch out another target area to the lower side in case we lose the area at around the $0.69 mark and continue pushing lower. And that is a scenario that we also need to be prepared here on the Polygon Matic chart. And I just need to use the trend based Fibonacci, connecting it from the high of that wave A to the low of the wave A, then dragging the fibs to the high of that wave B. And that gives me a minimum, another target area back to the fib level 1.618, which perfectly lies at around the $0.32 mark. And that is another target area that we need to have in mind here on the Polygon Matic chart, in case we lose the area at around the $0.69 mark, continue losing other key areas of support in between here. There are chances that we might get back to around the $0.32 mark in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 2. And getting to the short-term scenarios that can play out here here on the Polygon Matic chart, you can see that yesterday we managed to get back to around the $0.78 mark, which is a key area of support. And right now, after touching that key area of support, you can see that we found support and then saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, and there are chances that we can see a retest of that key area of support. And in case that plays out and we have a retest of that key area of support and the retest is a success, there are chances that we might continue pushing higher and get back to around the $0.95 mark. And in that movement to the upper side, in this retest over here, that will also be completing the formation of a double bottom over here. And if I draw it out, we can have it having that as the first bottom, then we have seen the neckline, then in case we see the retest, that will be completing the formation of the other side of the that is the formation of the second bottom. Then we can expect a breakout to the upper side, and this is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the upper side, having the target area of the breakout as the height between the tops and the neck, that is the bottoms and the neckline. So using a trend line, we can get that height and then place it above the neckline to give us a minimum target area back to around the $0.99 mark. And that would mean there are chances that Polygon Matic can give us a retest here on the 4-hour chart of that key area of support at around the $0.78 mark, then give us a very nice bounce to the upper side and get back to around the $0.95 mark. So that is the first possible scenario. The second possible scenario is that we can get to that key area of resistance, manage to break above it, and maybe even see a retest and continue pushing higher and maybe make a new high below the high for this wave B. So that is another possible scenario. There's also chances that we can get to that key area of resistance, get rejected and see another movement to the lower side, and in that movement I would expect us to lose the key area of support at around the $0.78 mark, even see a retest of the lower side of the key area of support. And once the retest is in, then Polygon Matic can continue pushing lower to fully maximize the formation of this higher Elliot wave count 2 by retracing fully into this yellow target area. And in case we lose the area at around the $0.69 mark, then the $0.32 mark would be my next possible target area here on the Polygon Matic chart. Also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. On the RSI, we are trading at around the 44 mark, which is a neutral point, meaning we can support either movements to the upper side and also any movements to the lower side. Also taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD, we have printed a bearish cross, and you can see we have been seeing a decrease in the buying momentum, and that would mean lower prices are coming our way. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.